What's up, everybody? It's Danny Gould with the Gould team selling Silicon Valley. Welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to get your real estate license and how to successfully pass your real estate exam on the very first time. At the end of this video, I'm going to share my bulletproof strategy for how to successfully pass your exam and only study for 10 days. Count it in the foul. This is the same strategy that I used to pass my exam, and I'm confident that you guys can implement this strategy and pass your exam with flying colors. Now, before we get into the video, I want to preface this by saying every single state is different. I practice real estate in the state of California, and so we have certain laws and certain regulations, and God knows that the state of California is especially notorious for taking forever to get back to their examinees. But I will say that every state, although they're different, they'll have three similar basic principles. Number one, you have to take a course or a set of courses in order to qualify to take the exam. Once you've passed those courses, then you study for the state exam. And in between there somewhere, you find a broker. Or some people wait until the very end to find a broker. And I'm going to tell you why that's a big mistake. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about step one, which is taking and passing your real estate course and or courses. Depending on the state, you're gonna have to take multiple courses. You can either take them online or you can take them at a local community college or regular college or whatever. There are some states that offer different ways to bypass the courses, but let's not get into that. Let's just pretend that you're a regular average Joe. In your particular state, you would have to take real estate courses. And so I highly recommend taking them online. The reason I say that is because you can do it on your own time. And oftentimes when you're doing it online, it's way faster than if you took it at a community college. Because if you took it at a community college, you know, a typical quarter is like 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 14 weeks. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, I took it on Kaplan online, and I did each course in 17 days. In 51 days, yes, in 51 days, I had finished all three classes. And this leads me to my next point, which is I highly, highly recommend that you don't waste all your time in the world trying to memorize the nitty-gritty details during the actual course time, because as you'll see, you have to pass the courses and then you have to pass the exam. And so a lot of times there's a lot of time between when you actually take the classes and when you take the exam. And so it's almost like you have to relearn everything. Remember, you're not getting paid to take these exams. You get paid to sell houses. So get through the courses as fast as you can. Don't worry about like memorizing, you know, what riparian rights are. Is that even how you say it? No, it's riparian rights. But just trust me. I know for a lot of OCD people, like, they want to understand everything. They want to really understand the nuances. First of all, you have to realize that you will never again use almost anything you learn in any of those courses ever again in your real estate career. A. B, you're gonna have to rememorize it and redo everything before you take the exam. So just I promise you're gonna be fine. And in terms of organizations that I recommend, I personally took my online courses on Kaplan RE. Great website, great resource, super cheap. I think it like cost me $500-600 for the whole thing. And I bought exam prep as well, because you buy the courses, but then you can also buy, like, for an extra $50 or $100, like an actual prep course for the exam, which we'll talk about in a second. I've also had really great success, or I've heard of people having really great success with Real Estate Express. Both those links are in the description box below. All right, so now we're at step two, which is finding a brokerage to work with. And I know that a lot of people wait until the very end, you know, after they've taken their exam and after they do everything to find a brokerage. This is a huge, huge mistake. I can't stress this enough. A lot of times people wait until the very end, but they're missing out on all the opportunity and the mentorship and the guidance that they could be getting and leveraging from a brokerage or a broker, and just completely letting that go. It's a huge mistake. You see, a lot of brokerages have really solid training programs. They have guidance. They can basically guide you through the entire, licensing process, and they can really help you with that. And they can even provide mentorship to you, or at least link you up with a team that can possibly provide mentorship and training, and maybe even like a job, a small job in the business, maybe as an assistant or a runner or a flyer dropper, something to get your feet wet in the industry so that you're not like going in like cold turkey. It could really be beneficial to have some sort of knowledge and grasp of the industry, like alongside of you know, taking your exam. And that's what I did. I mean, I didn't actually work for anybody, but I was basically at the office the first like 6 months while I was studying for my exam and doing all the licensing procedures. And that really helped set me up for success because I hit the ground running the first day. Now you're probably wondering, how do I find a good brokerage to work for? Here's the truth. Finding a good broker is really hard. The vast majority of brokers and brokerages and teams out there are, quite frankly, I mean, they're crap, right? So you really want to find some, if you care about working for somebody that's good and decent and has integrity and can teach you how to do it the right way, yada, yada, yada. It really does take a lot of research. And more than anything else, it takes gut. It takes gut feel. Do not ignore your gut. If your gut is telling you to do something, then do it. I would highly recommend just like asking your friends and your family and neighbors, anybody that you can think of that you trust, who they know, or which realtors in the neighborhood or community that you're trying to service, who they know in that area is like a really prominent realtor. And I would go to those realtors' web pages or research them and see what brokerages they're with, and then either contact the agents or contact the broker or however you want to do it. But really, you know, do your research. Don't just jump into it. I mean, the way that I found my brokerage was that a family friend of mine was in the business, and they were literally the top agents in our neighborhood, top 1,000 in the country. I mean, you can't get more legit than they were. And so I knew right from the get-go that wherever they worked, I wanted to work there, which was in Tarot. And if all else fails, I would recommend just searching out your closest Berkshire Hathaway affiliated brokerage. Intero is a Berkshire Hathaway affiliate. Berkshire Hathaway is owned by Warren Buffett. And frankly, if Warren Buffett is in charge of your company, I think you're doing pretty well. So if all else fails, I would go for Berkshire Hathaway affiliate. And also, like, just a heads up, I know a lot of agents all over the country. So if you have any questions, like, and you live in a semi major metropolitan area, comment down below and I can link you up with someone that you're gonna love. I promise, guarantee it. Now this leads us to step 3, which is actually, you know, passing your exam. It's a tough one, I know. Listen, I want to be like perfectly honest. There are a lot of people that I know that have taken the exam 3, 5, 7. I know a guy that took the exam 22 times. Anyways, I don't think that anybody that's watching this video needs to endure that kind of pain. Remember, I was telling you, I have a bulletproof system that I really feel can get you set up for success in 10 days. I'm going to tell you guys how to do it. But first, what I would suggest doing is that most states have you turn in the paperwork and then they process the paperwork, and then they often ask you to include like a broker's wet signature, or that at least like expedites the process. Here in California, if you submit it with a broker's signature, it expedites the process, which gives you even more reason really to go out and seek that brokerage before you make any sort of moves on your license. So once you've submitted all the paperwork to the state, you're generally going to at least have a couple weeks to study and bone up. I would just continue to kind of like brush up, maybe like look at your stuff like maybe an hour a day, but then 10 days before your exam date, or maybe if you want to get really crazy, like 2 weeks before your exam date, this is when you really got to buckle down and commit. And by the way, if you're working like 2 jobs and you're doing this on the side and you're trying to like balance everything, this may not be the best strategy for you. This is coming from a guy that literally was not working. I'm just like letting you guys know, I was not working when I was studying for my exam. I had just graduated from school and it was in between jobs. I committed to selling real estate and I told myself that that was what I was gonna do. But if you don't have that luxury, then still use this strategy, but maybe instead of 10 days, like bring it out to 3 weeks or like 30 days, and then like just like in like a third of everything that I'm telling you right now. So like break it up into smaller chunks, but still do it. Like still use the strategy. It'll still work. It'll take more time for you. So to start off with, you're gonna need some sort of test quiz bank, or I don't know, Kaplan calls it like a test prep bank, right? And basically what it is, it's a question bank. Kaplan had 1,000 questions at the time. I'm not sure what it is right now, but they had 1,000 questions. Trust me, if you look enough, if you look hard enough online, you can find 1,000 test prep questions online for your state. I guarantee it. You don't even need to pay for it, but like, if you have the luxury of paying like $100 for the test prep, I would highly recommend it. So you have these 1,000 questions, right? So here's how the 10 days break down. The first 5 days, you're gonna do 200 questions a day. That's right, you're gonna answer 200 questions per day. Now, a lot of these websites have the ability, you have the ability to turn on like a feature called like, show me the answer right away. And so basically what that means is once you select your answer, if you get it right, it'll say, yay, you're right. And if you get it wrong, it will immediately tell you that you got it wrong and what the correct answer was. So what I did is every time I got a question wrong, I would take out a note card, a little flashcard, and I would write the question down. And then on the backside, I would write the answer down, okay? And then I would make flashcards for all the questions that I got wrong. And trust me, I got a lot of them wrong. Like I got over 25% of them wrong the first time. I think I got like maybe barely 70% correct the first time through, right? So at the end of that 5 days, at the end of those 5 days, I had a stack of about like 250 to 300 flashcards. On the 6th and the 7th day, I went through all the flashcards and I would answer them, right? So this is exactly what I would do. Take a flashcard, okay? Flashcard, what does real estate mean? And then on the back side, it'd be like, this is what real estate means. And then you'd put it down. If I got it right, I'd put it in the yes pile. If I got it wrong, I'd put it in the wrong pile, or right and wrong. So I would just go through all the cards, and then I would pick up the wrong ones, go through them again, same thing, right? Put them, if I got them right, then I would like discard them. And then if I got them wrong, I'd put them in the wrong pile again. And I would do that, I did that on day 6 and 7 until I got every single question right. By now you're probably thinking, oh my God, that's like so boring. Well, yeah, but like it works. So sorry, bruh. So on day 8, 9, and 10, I took a practice exam every single day. And at the end of the practice exam, I would score it. And then all the questions that I got wrong, I would make flashcards for them. And then I would literally go through all the flashcards like we just did on those days. So like on day 8, I took a practice exam. And then I made flashcards for the ones I got wrong. And then I went through all the flashcards until I got all of them right. And then I did that again on day 9. And then I did that again on day 10. Literally by day 10, like I think my score on the original exam was like a 90 something. Like I passed it with like flying colors. Even if you're not a good test taker, even if you get really stressed, even if you do this, even if you do that, like if you put this much work and effort into understanding the core basic questions that your state is gonna ask you, you cannot lose, you cannot fail. Like in the state of California, you only have to get a 70. Like a 70 after doing all of that work for 10 days. I mean, look, what I'm basically asking you to do here is cram like a mother. But like, you can do it. I promise you. If I can do it, you can too. Guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. I believe in you. I have the faith. You got the magic. It's Danny Gould with the Gould team. Leave a comment down below if you liked the video. What other videos would you like to see? What other topics would you like for me to explore? I'm here to help you guys on your journey. Once again, everybody, it's Danny Gould with the Gould team, selling Silicon Valley, the future #1 real estate team in America. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.